Hello everybody, I'm Mario Master DT and welcome to another discussion video. This time we're talking about the Pikmin 4 reboot rumor that came out a little while back. And I did say we because with me today I have my friend 8-Bit.
Hello.
And since we're both Pikmin fans, I wanted to bring him in to talk about this because I could have rambled about Pikmin for, 20 minutes by myself, but I feel like it'd be more interesting to have someone else's perspective on the whole thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, this whole rumor. It's hardly anything, by the way. It's just there was a small report that talked about a few games that were coming out for the Switch or possibly coming out for the Switch. One of which included Pikmin 4, which we already know is in development. So this
Right.
might give a bit more credit to it. But they said Pikmin 4 for the Switch, but it is going to be a reboot for the series.
A reboot.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
caught me off guard a little bit because there's only been 3 games. I know the series has been hanging around. Sorry, 4 games. There are 4 games right now that we know of because that 3DS one is coming out. I forgot about it
Oh
because
God, that one.
honestly, it's for this purpose. I think it's pretty inconsequential, but
Yeah.
still it exists, I guess. But I the series has been around since the GameCube. I believe the first game was the launch title, right?
Yeah, it was Pikmin 1 was close to launch, I believe.
So it was either a launch title or close to launch. And
Yeah.
then the sequel came out for the GameCube, and then I believe there was an 8-year hiatus for the series.
Yeah, besides bridging the gap was like a remasterings for the Wii console of Pikmin and Pikmin 2.
Right, those ports were awesome. I actually prefer those over the originals, though I only own the Wii version of the original Pikmin. I don't think I ever picked up the new Play Control version of Pikmin 2 because I could never find it. Uh,
I got the I got the new play control of Pikmin 2 and found a copy of Pikmin for the GameCube.
right, I have Pikmin 2 for the GameCube. I've had that since I was a kid. That was my original copy, but I don't know if I had Pikmin 1. I just don't know what happened to it, which is a shame because I like
Yeah.
the game a lot. It's probably
That's when you lose your
yeah,
favorite games.
yeah. That's why I keep them close now.
Oh, don't I know it?
But anyway, I mean, big question. I don't. Does the series really need a reboot at this point? I feel like we're. I mean, I don't know how hard of a reboot we're talking, but what do you think about that?
Yeah.
Do you think we really need a reboot?
I I don't think we really do. I mean, the universe that Pikmin takes in is just big enough that it could just be like another alien that comes to planet. I believe it was like PDF 40.
It's a PNF 404. They called it in Pikmin 3.
Yeah, or just what I believe is just Earth at this point.
Right. Like some kind of
And it could just be like
post-apocalyptic.
another person that crash lands into Earth in like a different area, like possibly somewhere more urban or something like that, and it could just it could just call itself a reboot while still having like nods to like the other games, like weak signals coming from elsewhere on the planet or something like that from the other explorers.
Yeah, I mean, this could be. Excuse me. Uh, the thing about this is like, it just says reboot. Again, it's a rumor, so we don't know if it's even real. But it could
Yeah,
be a soft reboot. A soft reboot, might not even take too many things away. It might just improve a couple things. It might streamline some things. But I can't see if this is a reboot and this is true. I can't see this as like a hard reboot because I feel like a hard reboot is something you do after like several dozen games, like Pokemon or something. Like
yeah.
obviously they're not going to reboot Pokemon, although some people on YouTube seem to think that they were headed in that direction. Go check out Lockston Noggin because he's an awesome channel, and I'll probably link that somewhere if I remember. But what was I saying?
The soft reboot.
I started thinking about the Pokemon reset theory of his. It was fantastic. But have you seen that? I'm not. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
I
But
have
you have?
I haven't, but I will have to check that out.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, it's pretty disproved at this point because the game's out, but good theory. But that's not what I'm talking about. So, the bu- 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 the soft reboot. I think it'd be more of a soft reboot if anything, because a
Yeah.
hard reboot seems a little harsh, Especially because I mean, like you said, it's such a big universe, and they obviously haven't explored everything they can. So it's like
Exactly.
that doesn't seem like it doesn't seem necessary to hard reboot it.
No, and like even if you did hard reboot it, what could you possibly change drastically with the formula of Pikmin?
Yeah, and if it's drastic, it's like people having a drastic change would be kind of a gamble because if it's too drastic, it's not going to be Pikmin anymore. Like,
Exactly. It's just going to be like something else completely.
yeah, I mean, like if that'd be like if they hard rebooted Mario and turned it into like an FPS. Like, it just wouldn't
That
work. Like, that doesn't
that's a
make any
game that does
sense.
exist. That's a game that does exist.
What game were we talking about?
Yoshi Safari.
That's a good point. I didn't. I always forget about that. I think did Game Freak make that game too?
I don't know. I'll have to check next time I dig that up.
Because I forget which. I think they made Mario and Wario. I think it said when I was looking at their game repertoire that it might have been Yoshi Safari as well. No, no, no. I think they might have just made Yoshi, like the puzzle game.
Yeah, I think that's as far as they touched Mario. I think besides Mario and Wario. I think.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so in this supposed reboot, what would we be looking at to, what would we want it to be like? We wanted to throw all the best elements from the games we enjoyed in, obviously, but what specifically are those things? So, I mean, some things I would get away with, do away with right off the bat. Uh, Probably a lot of the things that Pikmin 3 brought in.
Hmm.
Um, I don't like I said, the linearity. I liked the wide openness of Pikmin 2 and 1. Like, you had the map, but it was kind of like I felt like there was more exploration in those two games, so I would like that more, especially with how beautiful this game's gonna look.
Oh, for
Um,
sure.
then the food system, I think I'm all set with that. I don't think that needs to be there. I think if we have anything, I want some kind of timer system that has a different purpose. Like if I would throw in maybe another Crash Landing if it's a completely new character, sure, but
Yeah, like they didn't expect to get like they're flying into like a new area that they're unfamiliar with. A meteorite strikes them. They land into the planet.
yeah,
Basically, retelling the story of Olimar again.
yeah. I mean, I would like that, and if I mean, ideally, I'd love to return to playing as Olimar and Louis, and again with the two playable characters, if they do that, I want some like real time co-op action because I think it's about time we have a co-op story mode for this series.
Yes, yes, that's one of the things that I did write down for this. That there should be like, if there is going to be multiple characters in this reboot of a story, then there should be an option for people to like co-op together in like the same room. Like one person takes control of one character and the other takes control of the other.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool. I think it'd be a fun time, especially. I think two players would be good. I don't know if four
Yeah,
players
three.
might be pushing it.
Yeah, four might be a little too much, but two I think would work because that means the Pikmin can be split evenly among the two.
Yeah, I mean, if it was four, you could do 25 each, but eh,
Then again, what much can you get done with 25?
not much unless you stick together. If you go two and two, that'd be okay. But I think two would be a good system. So,
Yeah.
I mean, so far, some kind of crash landing. I want to collect ship parts, but I also wrote I don't want this to be like the main focus of the game. Like obviously, you want to survive, but that's not going to be the entire game. Like you
Yeah.
would like in my ideal Pikmin 4 / reboot, you'd be collecting parts for a bit until you were safe again, and then after that, then you start. You can collect the rest of the ship parts for completion and for bonuses and extra abilities or whatever. And you would also have the ability, not ability to, but I mean, you'd have the capacity to collect treasures as well. So this
Yes, the
crash
treasures
landing.
the
So
treasures should be a thing that returns.
yeah, so like the crash landing is like it's not like a whole bad thing, I guess. You
Yes,
come off
like
the planet with some wealth.
perhaps the reasoning for this new explorer is to like catalog different planets and like their ecosystems, and this character is like finding these relics of like possibly an old civilization that used to live on this planet, and he brings them back for like more research back home.
I like that idea. Actually, that's a really good idea because the president, in Pikmin 2 just says, "All right, let's get this stuff, let's sell it. Put this guy or girl or whoever, or
Yeah,
group of people. Maybe it's an archaeologist guild. I don't know, but like, you
it
know,
belongs in a museum.
yeah, exactly. It's like playing Animal Crossing. It's like I just caught a new fish. Do I throw it in the museum or do I sell it? It's like that's the kind of dilemma.
Exactly.
But like, so yeah, something like that. Then I mean, I said, you know, collecting ship parts would be mandatory at first because I would want a time limit. I would want like a certain amount of time to be spent on this planet. Like you shouldn't be able to just. I don't know if. I don't know. I think at first you should have a strict time limit where if you don't collect a certain amount of parts in like 5 or 6 days,
Yeah,
maybe you're not able to survive.
like maybe like when you crash land, you realize all your life support parts are missing. So you have like say like 15 to like 20 days to like find these parts again.
Yeah.
And when you do, the time limit's gone.
Yeah, something like that, or it becomes a lot more loose. Like, once you get all the necessary parts, and it won't be like overly difficult to do so. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you get like they're like 4 parts you need to get in the first like 10 days. Then it opens up, and maybe it's like, yes, your life support functions not forever, but you have a good 40 days before you need to worry again. Or something like that. And then I thought, even maybe if it's like I had this idea where maybe if it's even more easy on you than that, it's like you have 90 to 100 days of life support left. You don't need to worry about this. You go do your thing now and, grab your ship parts because you still can't leave. Like,
Yeah.
ideally you need to get your part. You need to get off the planet so you can go home, but at this point you can't. So you're collecting everything.
Actually, I
But,
just
like,
had another idea.
yeah.
Maybe if like the time limit is long enough, maybe the areas that you explore go through seasonal changes.
That could be a cool idea. And I mean, the other thing I was thinking about the time thing is if you're spending this, large amount of time on the planet because they can, like,
Yeah.
I was thinking while you're out exploring for the day, I don't know if there'd be, I was thinking maybe there's some kind of enemy or something that could come along, and if it gets near your ship, it can bust it. And then you would have to go again and recollect some parts. I mean, it wouldn't happen frequently. It'd be very, very infrequent, but it's like a small annoyance. But maybe you get some bonus for defeating the enemy. Like you get a massive amount of Pikmin. Like, it'll attack your ship, steal a part, and it's like, okay, your life support system has been damaged. You need to go get this thing in the next 3 days, or else you're boned.
Actually, I like that idea. Like, perhaps there could be like more aggressive monsters that appear in like these new areas that you can explore, and they'll see your ship as something
They're like, ooh, shiny.
interesting. Yeah, shiny, and will want to break it.
Yeah, or like rip something off of it. Then you. So I didn't expect to talk about this in this discussion, but in Paper Mario Color Splash, there's this weird thing that happens to you sometimes when you complete a level, where
Yeah.
there's this character called the Shy Bandit, who is one of the only characters with a unique design in the entire game. He'll throw a card at one of the levels you've already completed, and it'd mark it as like, I'm going to attack this spot. And then you have to race him to that spot on the map, because he starts sucking the color out of it. And I didn't see what happens if he sucks all of it out, but you go in there and you touch him on the map and you fight him and you stop him from doing it, and then the color gets restored. So it's like I kind of got the idea from that. It's like sometimes there's a little annoyance that you have to deal with, but that doesn't really give you a huge bonus. Like you get some coins, but you get coins everywhere in that game. So like ideally, my idea for this is like, sure, you get a lot of problems from this creature attacking you. Like you suddenly have a limit again, so it provides some fear, provides some motivation, and then the other thing it provides you afterwards, maybe you get this thing's carcass back to the onion. And again, I would have separate onions because I didn't like that whole one onion thing. Like it was fine, but that was more of a nitpick. But you get it back to one of the onions, and maybe it gives you like 50, 60 Pikmin for your trouble. Maybe it drops a treasure as well or something.
That would be nice.
But then if that was the thing, then these things would have to be scripted every couple days because for 100%. So
Right.
I don't know about that, but some kind of bonus, so it's not completely useless and it's worth your time. But it's also a small annoyance, so it's like, oh geez, I gotta pay more attention to this, or maybe like I can put that off for a day. I'm gonna do what I was doing. something like that. I don't know.
Right.
And then I'm not going to talk too much more on this, but so Treasure's time limit, Crash Landing, co-op, the randomly generated caves with no time limits and the bosses inside them. I want that back. I don't need to talk about it again because I already talked about how much I liked them. You talk about
Yeah.
the stuff you wanted to do now because I saw your list and there's a couple cool things on there that I like.
Right. One of them being nighttime.
Right.
All right. So basically, the idea of this concept is it's a big world. You want to explore every inch of it as much as you can. So there's a risk and reward system. So you want to go out and explore at night. Okay, but remember, monsters are more stronger at night. They're more aggressive. And well, you go out and do it. So possibly when the monsters are more aggressive, they drop more nutrients, what becomes those pellets. So as a reward, you get more Pikmin, and perhaps there could be like a nighttime exclusive Pikmin, like mushroom Pikmin or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I could break out some cool stuff like that, especially for nighttime.
Yeah,
It's a new frontier, and you know what? I think that idea would work really well with this being a reboot, because up until this point, that's like sacrilege. You don't go out at night in Pikmin. Like,
yeah, like perhaps like the only time that you can go out at night is when you find a flashlight treasure.
yeah, maybe there's something like that, something that enables you to be able to go out.
Yeah, like something to like light a radius around you so you can at least see what you're doing.
Right. I mean, I've seen some people, I mean, similar things like maybe some Pikmin glow in the dark, but that whole thing about the exclusive Pikmin, I think I don't know if exclusive Pikmin's. I don't know. Having them have a lot of purpose, but being able to use the others at the same time, I think would work well.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can only. I mean, blue Pikmin aren't exclusive to water, but it's
Yeah,
like
there's
if
like
these dark Pikmin maybe they can't go out at night, and then that also works with being a reboot. It's like there are so many things that are there that we wouldn't have known about because you couldn't do this until now.
yeah, like the nighttime is just like a whole nother world. Like different things happen than in the daytime. More monsters come out that are usually asleep during the day because I believe like one of Olimar's logs in like Pikmin 1 is that a lot of the animals and monsters on this planet are nocturnal. All right, so to wrap this up more tightly, nighttime, new monsters and stuff like that, the risk and reward, and possibly like there are only like certain areas that open up at night or something like that. Like perhaps there's like a giant monster or something that is blocking your way when it's sleeping during the day and you can't do anything to budge it. And perhaps it only wakes up at nighttime and you can finally get to like a cave or dungeon or something it's blocking.
Yeah, but you gotta watch out for that thing because it's on the prowl now because it's nighttime.
Exactly. So it's like the fear that that big thing is out there somewhere.
Yeah, that would
Just like
be.
and
It's like,
perhaps like
yeah,
and perhaps like other monsters are like more afraid of this thing.
yeah. Like so you see monsters running towards you, and you're like, all right, get ready to fight, but they kind of run past you, and you're like,
Yeah, and
uh,
then all of a sudden you see like this giant human foot-sized thing just step out of the darkness, and you're like, shit, nope, 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 nope,
yeah. The thing,
and just run away.
it just ends you. It'll kill. Like it'll probably game over you. Just instant. It'll step on you, or maybe not. Like,
Exactly. Just like a single step from this thing can like wipe out your whole army and like bring you to critical damage.
yeah, that'd be. I like that. I like it a lot. Like I like that. That whole risk and reward thing. You go out at but maybe by the end of the day, like we were saying before, I think we chatted about this like briefly.
Yeah,
Before this.
yeah, like if you decide to go out at night, you still have to sleep. So the next day you wake up at like noon.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a bit of a risk because it's very dangerous at night. You could lose a lot of Pikmin. You could die and have to start the day over.
Yeah.
But the reward is that you're able to go into new areas. You maybe fight new monsters. You find treasures that you can't fight. So this would be a big completion thing, and especially for people who want to explore everything. Like maybe it wouldn't be mandatory. Like these would
Yeah,
be more optional
it won't be
treasures.
it won't be like 100% mandatory. You got to do this, but it's something to like consider. Like, do I want to risk going out at night and like exploring,
Yeah, and then losing time
or
during the day, because
yeah, but then I would lose time during the day, and if I don't get anything accomplished, I just wasted like half a day of potential stuff.
yeah. So it's interesting. I mean, there's so much that they could do with this. I I don't know what to expect really. I don't. It's hard to tell with Nintendo what they're gonna do. Even if they say something's gonna be a reboot, I mean, they didn't say that. This is a rumor, but even if they said this was gonna be a reboot, I wouldn't be sure what to expect. I feel like it would almost be still similar to the old games. I don't know if they would really throw too much new stuff into the mix. I don't know. I don't know if they would go as far as to come up with this kind of thing, because like, I mean, fans will always think about what they want to see the most, and that might not occur to the company, as we've seen with some things that Nintendo has made in the past. I'm not looking at any Paper Mario games for the 3DS in particular, but I'm not gonna get angry right now because I'm hungry. But I think we're good on talking about this. This is a lot longer than I was expecting, and it's gonna be
Yeah, like holy
so
cow.
fun to rewatch this and edit it. But
I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. We had a lot of good discussion. I think yeah, I think we had some good ideas thrown in there, and hopefully people think so too. So I mean, if you have ideas about what you would like to see in a Pikmin reboot, definitely comment about it, because I know Pikmin is a big series for Nintendo, whether they like it or not. It has a lot of fans, and I think
Big
no
enough to
matter
put
what,
Oliver Smash.
yeah, that's true. They didn't have to put Olimar in Smash, but they did.
Yeah.
Which shows they still care. They didn't need to bring him back. I mean, at that point, was he even? It was still Pikmin 2 they were drawing from, right?
Yeah, it was still Pikmin 2 when he appeared in Brawl.
What am I talking? Of course, it was Pikmin 2. Pikmin 3 came out of the Wii U. Duh. All right. Anyway, like, seriously, you got ideas? Definitely post about them. We'll see your comments.
Yeah.
If you disagree with anything we said, definitely voice your opinion. I mean, this is just our kind of, this is what we want. So I mean, don't say we're stupid for thinking something, but
It is a judge-free zone.
it's a judge-free zone. I mean,
You.
it was just our opinion, so whatever.
Yeah.
But
We're
feel
just
free to voice your opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for joining me for this. I think we had a lot of good points. I think I like a lot of the stuff we came up with.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Thank you for having me on.
Of course, and I think this will actually come out before Super Mario World, but if you're ready to see more of 8-Bit, he'll be joining me in a Super Mario World playthrough soon enough.
Oh boy.